Hey gang, happy Sunday. So, I'm on my way to my oldest son's wrestling meet in Connecticut, and I wanted to make a post about wrestling for a few weeks now, and I just got caught up with other things. So, for those of you that are unfamiliar with the sport of wrestling, it's one of the very few sports that the accountability and the ownership of your performance essentially falls squarely on you. It's an individual sport within a team sport, of course, and it teaches so many lessons that we want to really live our lives by, but especially pass on to our kids, students, and players. It's really the most democratic of sports. Now, I didn't wrestle, so as my son got more and more into the sport, I learned more and more about it. And when I say it's the most democratic of sports, they have something called a wrestle-off, right? So let's say, for example, my son wrestles at 195, and last year he wrestled at 182. So if he wanted to go down and wrestle at 182, he can do that. He can drop the weight, he can wrestle at 182, he can challenge the teammate at 182 to become the wrestler at that weight for any given meet or any given match. So it's purely based on performance, and although it doesn't happen a lot, especially with this particular team, because one of the reasons my son is wrestling at a higher weight is because he did it for the team. So the value of teamwork has already been instilled in him since he was a little kid. But there are very few sports that teach that level of accountability, that for the next 6 minutes, I'm going to win or lose based on my ability. And I'm going to own that win or that loss, and I can't blame it on my teammates, and I can't blame it on my parents, and I can't blame it on the other coach or the conditions or anything else. It is me against you. If I win, I'm going to own it. If I lose, I'm going to own it. And I think in this day and age of excuses and what ifs and coulda, shoulda, wouldas, it's just a great lesson for all these kids. So if you have kids, if you have students, I would get them into wrestling. It's a great sport. It's a tough sport. You got to be tough to wrestle, but it teaches all the right lessons. That's all I got.